Good morning.
Welcome to the morning show.
Yeah.
The Big Show with Glenn and Angel on Kiss 92.
Good morning.
Sometimes getting out of bed in the morning is a lot to deal with all at once.
What's up? What's new with BYD? Welcome to The Big Show and The Big Show TV. And this morning we have the Managing Director of BYD Singapore and the Philippines, Mr. James Ng. Good morning, James.
Hello, morning everyone.
Good morning.
And we also have the General Manager of Vantage Automotive Limited, Mr. David Na. Good morning, David.
Everyone.
Welcome.
Good morning. So, gentlemen, thank you so much for coming in this morning. It is our second episode of What's New with BYD. And today we're talking about market trends, consumer adoption, what the customer needs, what they're demanding for, and of course the new BYD technology, the PHEV, because
right.
the Sea Lion 6 DMI just got launched on the 16th of July. So,
And James, you're a busy man, James. Very busy. But this is happy busy.
Yeah. 好事好事
so hard for us to lock you down to come into the studio. But James, okay, if we can start with you. Why do you think Singaporeans are, adopting the EV lifestyle these days? More and more are jumping on that EV bandwagon. Why do you think so?
Okay, before that, first of all, let me thank everyone, for the Singaporeans for supporting BYD so far. And we've been since July 2022 when we launched our 803. That's our first product launch. And subsequently, we've been receiving a very good outcome. And thanks for the support. And for this year, we have consecutively number one for every month.
Yeah,
all right.
number one.
We are still
Congratulations.
we are eagerly waiting for the LTA's official results for June. And hopefully, we are still number one. And all this because of our great support from the Singaporeans. Thanks a lot once again.
Right. It's even harder to maintain the number one position, right?
We'll do our best. We'll do our best. Okay. There are few pointers I personally feel out is that because of technology change, innovations, which is the core of BYD, I think that have been saying that the traditional vehicles getting you to point A to point B is no longer the basic needs, but at the same time you can enjoy with the high tech, you can enjoy the traveling experience. So that is a main difference of previously and now on the technology change. But at the same time, CO is relatively high in Singapore, especially buying a vehicles. So in selections of a consumer, and our people in Singapore are really a great buyer. They are relatively have a good spending power, but at the same time they are not rich in pocket, but at the same time they are rich in their knowledge as well. So because of that, they want to buy a product that is of high perceived quality value versus the price. So we have in so-called in Chinese we call 高性价比 products. So because of that, BYD are innovative. We have been innovating good EV products since 30 years ago until today. Then at the same time, if you read a bit in depth of BYD, we are a vertically integrated company where we produce almost 80% of the the lines components parts ourselves. And at the same time, we are vertically integrated. So we have our ships, we have our supply chain, all mostly done by BYD. Because of that, we delay a lot of unnecessary costs, and that gives us a very good price to the consumer.
For the customer.
That's amazing.
So that's the reason why today BYD is doing such good. And I would say that in terms of EV, we are the driver to drive EV in Singapore. And because of the first experience of BYD, consumer in Singapore, they are very receptive to EV into this context in Singapore. And that will stir up a great interest, especially we have a good government policy. Government is stirring up a good incentive to drive EV with almost as much as 40,000 per vehicle. So that makes a lot of sense to drive a EV into this context rather than driving an ICE or petrol vehicles.
All right, let's continue this BYD conversation on the Big Show TV. Meantime, here's G-Dragon with Too Bad on Kiss 92. Okay, we've got a question for David. All right, David, how does BYD's model lineup cater to the different life stages and lifestyles of Singaporean drivers?
Well, I think one thing about how do we cater, we have a huge lineup. As you can see, we have been launching almost every month a new product. just last month, or rather just 2 weeks ago. We're talking about a Sea Lion 6 DMI, and that's also our first PHEV. I'll let James walk us through more on that later, and I think there'll be more exciting products coming up. I think nowadays, like what James has also mentioned, prices in Singapore for cars are very expensive. I see it more as an investment nowadays. And if you are spending most of your time in your investment, you want something that is good quality, something that's reliable. And that's what BYD has to offer. I think a couple of years back, we will be very surprised if we fast forward to today that the number one brand in Singapore currently standing is a full EV brand. Maybe not now after the DMI is launched, that we have even expanded our range past just EV alone. Yep. So we cater to single first-time owners, family owners, and also supporting business fleet owners as well. So I think that's something that we can have a wide spectrum to support our different groups of customers, and that's how we grow our brand, and of course to cater to our needs of our consumers as well.
So you guys launched the Sea Lion 6 DMI on the 16th of July. Then, you're still reeling off the excitement from that. And then you've got another launch coming next week or the week after, 5th August, which is the official launch of the Atto 2. What kind of target market are you aiming for when it comes to the Atto 2?
Now that's out of the box already.
Very fast.
we
you
were
released
not
the
to say that.
Of
we
course.
thought we were going to release that at the end of this interview. Wow,
You got
Angel
too
just went
excited.
straight in.
Of course.
Maybe I can say a bit more about the Atto 2.
Okay,
Yes.
James.
So actually, it is another new range of a product that focus on another group of customers. Okay, so Atto 2 is a slightly small version of Atto 3. Okay, so basically we are targeting on youngsters who are financially okay to own a vehicle but don't want to spend too much. So this is affordable vehicles, EV vehicles that is meant for goods for youngsters, and the trendy design, the trendy outlook, and the interior, I think that suits them well.
Nice. Okay.
That's why the thing about BYD is they have everything. It's like they got something for everyone.
Everyone, yeah.
But let's go back to the Sea Lion 6 DMI once again, which is the latest offering, the only PHEV from BYD at the moment. Tell us a little bit more about, because this is DMI. Okay, I remember there's DMI, there's DMO, and there is DMP.
Okay.
Okay, so there have been people who have been asking because they heard it's not only just DMI. Okay, so there's DMO and DMP as well. So first and foremost, James, can you explain what DMI is, DMO is, and DMP is, and whether or not in the coming months, those variants will be released as well?
Yeah, okay, definitely. I think DM stands for dual mode. All right, basically is equivalent to PHEV. All right, so IOP stands for I means intelligent. Basically, it is a vehicle that's suitable for city-like kind of driving. So it optimizes most of the performance. Then O is talking about the off-road. So basically, you can see that it can meant for different more tougher terrains to drive. And actually the P is basically stand for power.
Wow.
All right. So performance as well. So if you want a vehicle that is power and performance, look for P. So BYD technology for these three areas, we somehow identify the needs of our customers, and we try to customize to what you need.
Wow, I like
So
the sound
clear.
of that. The O and the P. I like that. Yeah.
So our first product, because if you take a look and read some about BYD, actually BYD has two main core products. One is the BEV, battery electric vehicle. The other one is a plug-in hybrid EV. So both are EV, but for this PHEV, we are talking about plug-in. It is more flexible in the sense that for those customers that have some range anxiety or need to travel more distance to Malaysia, you can consider PHEV, because in Singapore we do a test because of city lights, start, stop, all this type of thing. We managed to do a range of more than 1,200 kilometers. But on the other markets, when I'm doing Philippines, a few months ago, when do a trial test, we crossed more than 1,005.
Amazing.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So that depends also. But in Singapore, we have a very good range of 1,002, which is good enough for a lot of consumer down here.
Right. Actually, during the 5 days when we went for the road trip, right, we really pushed the vehicle. No? You know, you put us all in the vehicles, we'll definitely push the vehicle to the max. And
Stress-
I mean
stress
to
test,
the
right?
max until
Stress
we got the
test.
smell of burning rubber and all that, as in that kind of max, okay? And yet we still hit like 1,001
Yeah.
or something like that.
We go all the
which-
way up to Genting KL.
Yeah. You know, once you put all the content creators and the media people in
course.
there, and they
That's
won't
it.
give chance. We won't give chance.
So
and the result was really, really favorable.
Yeah, so the C-Line 6 DMI PHEV, this one is really meant for people who are still driving combustion engine cars, right?
Yeah,
That's
correct.
the target.
Because other than the traditional HEV, you have this time is a PHEV because you have additional advantage that you can plug in. If you see any charging station, this vehicle allows about 100 kilometers EV range, BEV range. So you don't need to use the engine to drive. You don't need pump in petrol. You have electricity enough for battery to power up to almost 100 kilometers.
Nice.
And the interesting thing about the BYD C-Line 6 DMI is that you can manage your drive. So, you know, you have your what do you call the mode in there. You can switch it to HEV or EV.
Right, nice.
You know, depending
You have the choice.
on you know, how or where you're driving. So it's very versatile in that sense.
So,
If you haven't gone
so
for a
this
test drive,
PHEV
make sure
actually
you go.
one point to know is that it's a smart vehicles. You can choose or not. You can optimize it, but you can optimize for yourself.
Right.
For the kind of style
Yeah,
of
so you
driver.
just drive, the vehicle will do the decision for you.
Yeah,
No issue.
because don't forget there's regenerative
Power,
braking as
yeah.
well, which will then charge the battery,
battery as well.
So very nice. Okay, we're going back on air.
Got everything you want, but got everything you need. So take a chance on me. I got real big plans. Hold up, baby. I got real big plans. Hold up, baby. I got real big plans.
Kiss 92 traffic.
On the SLE towards the CTE before Yio Chu Kang Road, an accident with congestion till Lento Avenue. Avoid lanes 1 and 2. Sounds like a big one. We hope everyone's okay. Also on the PIE towards Changi, an accident before the ECP airport exit. And finally on the PIE towards Changi, a vehicle having trouble at Jalan Bahar's entrance. Wherever you are this morning, stay safe.
Welcome back to The Big Show and The Big Show TV. It is a lovely Thursday morning, and every Thursday right here on The Big Show and The Big Show TV, we welcome someone from BYD. And this morning, it's James Ng, Managing Director of BYD Singapore and the Philippines, as well as David Na, the General Manager of Vantage Automotive Limited. And we're finding out what's new with BYD. David Na, General Manager of Vantage Automotive Limited. There's some people who are asking the question like, can you tell us the relationship between Vantage and BYD Singapore?
Well, Vantage is the authorized distributor in Singapore for BYD cars. So we have 4 other dealers and one just joined us. So we were at 3 and now we're at 4. I think we are also the only brand to have 4 dealers in Singapore, including ourselves as distributor. Total of 5.
Wow, okay.
Yeah. So yeah, we work with James and his team very closely. The main topic, of course, with our dealers as well is to grow BYD together as a brand. Yeah. So I think that will be the main connection.
And judging by what I've been seeing, they're all very close.
Yeah.
We are.
They are
You have a good
all-
relationship.
Yeah, very good relationship. They're like a family, right?
You know, speaking of growth, right? I mean, with a growth in sales, you also need a growth in post-sale service, which is a question from Ting Lai that's come on. She says, good morning. So with the rise in BYD sales, has BYD ramped up its resources for post-sales service?
Yeah, maybe I can answer that.
Yes,
All right.
James.
So just to add on to what David has said is that we have 4 dealers, but the dealers we identify the 4 dealers of different strength. It's not just only purely selling. One of the dealers actually the 1826, where everybody know, where we integrate a lifestyle into the showroom. So we identify our dealers with different niche and strength to serve more market in Singapore. So at this moment, we definitely very care of after sales, and definitely after sales is talking about sustainability. So that's the reason why today we already have 3 workshops to serve our customers. Moving forward, end of this year, we're going to add in 2 more. There'll be in total 5. All right. So basically, customers can just go anywhere out of this 5 to do your vehicle servicing, or eventually, if you have any problem with the vehicle, you can go to either one of them.
That's amazing.
That's great. That's great.
Great freedom.
There's also a question that's coming in. I mean, we've touched on this before, but they are very interested in the fact that the BYDs have blade batteries, right? Compared to the other cars. Now, they are asking, what is so special about the blade battery? Is it just a publicity thing? Blade battery? Aren't all batteries the same? Can you explain about the blade battery?
Yeah, so
James?
this is a technology of BYD, brake battery. Basically, we identify brake battery as something that is improve the performance, but most important is the safety. So actually, brake battery itself is, if you look at it, the batteries are all slim into somehow very, very optimized in the areas. So because of the areas are all laminated and optimized, so the capacity and the performance is maximized. So at the same time, the structure is formed such that it is lightweight and it is compact at the same time. So it improves the economic of this vehicle, but at the same time the outlook of this vehicle as well. But more importantly is that in terms of safety, this brake battery is made of lithium iron phosphate. It is not the traditional NCM, NiCad, nickel magnesium, but a material is much safer. If you look at the some of the videos that we have in the YouTube or other social media, we have the penetration test between NCM and brake battery. Definitely, the heat dissipation of brake battery is much lower than that of other type of make batteries, and it makes it very safe. So, in terms of any unwanted events happening, the brake battery will not cause fire, or it will have any just maybe smoke but no fire at all.
Oh, that's
so
great.
that is something very different from other make kind of batteries from other vendors.
Okay. Let's continue this conversation with James and David on the Big Show TV. It is 8:22.
Kiss 92 Time Check, brought to you by...
Okay, David, so what do you believe were the key drivers behind BYD's market-leading sales in 2024?
2024, I think mainly the whole coordination of the whole sales team, from our dealers, from really support from Principal James' side. And also, I think Singaporeans are very willing to try something new. And if it's something new and it's something that makes sense, that integrates into their life, I think they're willing to give it a try. Like what I've said earlier on, if you really think about it, a couple of years ago, people are so worried about EVs, worried about charging. I remember first time I was driving an EV and it's like, wow, 50%? I'm already looking for a charger. Now I can drive to, my lowest was at like 13.
13, okay.
I'm not go lower than James.
I've done like 6. I think I've done 6%.
James went lower, huh?
James went very low.
What was your lowest percentage?
Which one? Sorry.
While you're driving for your EV.
Battery.
Oh yeah, 1%. 1%.
I never even know you could get there. James was sharing it with me. I was like, you sure?
So what happens when it's at 1%? It still drives the same, right?
1%, I think, still has about maybe 10 kilometers, I think? No, or more.
Depends on the battery capacity of the vehicles.
Okay.
But when that kind of 1%, you feel that, okay, just off
time
the
to push the
aircon.
car.
Yeah. Be prepared to push the car, park one side, okay? Don't travel to the expressway or whatsoever.
Actually, 1% is still okay. Below 1%, it says ...
Oh, does it?
I think so, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh my
But when it's
Even you drive at 0%, the car will still
Dash,
move.
dash.
Will still move.
Yeah, but we
Yeah.
don't recommend it.
Not so often.
I think I was asking Wei Rong that the last time when we were on our trip.
Dot.
Right, there was dash, right, something like that. How many more kilometers when it was dash?
Around?
10? 20?
No.
Oh. About 10. Oh,
10
yeah,
liters
I
of,
see.
okay.
That was for the BYD C-Line 6 DMI, correct?
Okay.
10 liters left when it was dash.
Not bad. Don't try it.
Don't try it. So, James, earlier you were talking about government incentives, like the EEAI, which is the early adoption incentive, and then they also have the VES. Yeah, can you tell us a little bit more for someone who's listening, doesn't know what kind of incentives there are out there? They're thinking of buying themselves a BYD. BYD.
Yeah.
What can you...
Because basically the government until to end of this year, there is still two form of incentive, EAI, as well as say the early adopters incentive, and the other one is the VES, vehicle emission scheme. So ES comprises if you now switch a vehicle from your existing one or to a EV, to a BEV, battery electric vehicle, or you want to own a BEV from as a new driver, the government will give you a tax waiver of 15,000. All right. So for VES, actually, it depends on the emission. They have different grade A1, A2, so on and so forth. So, but the thing is, under BEV category, most of them are going for another's 25,000. Okay, there is a metric to do a test on your vehicle emissions that will have a lot of certain particles, oxide or whatsoever that they will measure and classify whether you are in which category. So if you are in the A1 category, you'll definitely get the 25,000. So 15 plus 25 will give you 40,000. So most of the vehicle in today's category should reach 40,000 tax incentive from the government.
Right.
I would say that our local government is really doing a very good job in promulgating EV in Singapore, and within a shortest period. I think the last month's numbers already show that actually the numbers of for that particular month, the number of buyers buying BEV already is exceed that of PHEV. Yeah,
Wow.
not PHEV. Sorry, this IC and HEV.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, the launch price for going back to the BYD Sea Lion 6 DMI, of course, it's not going to get as much of the green incentives as a full EV. But how did you manage to make it still, so sweet in terms of the price point? That was something that everyone was so surprised. I don't know whether the price is still
The same.
at the launch price. I'm sure it is. It's about $212,000 for the BYD Sea Lion 6 DMI.
How?
Yes.
David, you want to say something first?
How did that happen? I heard a gasp in the audience.
I think I would
the
say
other day.
we really love working with James and his team. So we come together and we say, how much should we price this car? Some is 15,000, 20,000. Because like what James has mentioned earlier on, a PHEV, because your incentive that you get under A2, you only get 2,005.
It's less because,
compared to what you're getting in totality in a BEV vehicle. So just on that is a huge difference. And as you know, the DMI is a Cat B, so nothing really changed from there. So the only thing I can say is that the support from BYD factory themselves, they're willing to really bring in and put the whole portfolio, increase the whole portfolio to reach out to the right and more buyers. And on our side, together as dealers, as distributor, we come together to work on the dollars and cents. Don't make too much and put cars on the road. Grow the brand.
Nice.
Right.
Okay, you've got a question
From YouTube. Yeah, I'm just trying to pull it up now and see.
This is a good thing when the show is live like this on the Big Show TV. Everyone's watching us on YouTube. Hello, everyone on YouTube and everyone on Facebook Live right now. Once again, we are speaking to James, the Managing Director of BYD Singapore and the Philippines, and of course, the General Manager at Vantage Automotive Limited.
Okay, so we have
David.
Eddie who's watching us on YouTube, and he's asking, may I ask what cost components I have to look at for an EV on a monthly or yearly basis? Is the cost component for an EV cheaper than fuel?
I would think it is much cheaper than fuel. I think if you look at it right now, if you go to the petrol station with so much things happening in the economy, petrol prices are really going up the roof. If you're going on RON 95 and things like that, it's also really sky high. Yeah, even if you are driving a small 1.5 liter car, let's say on a 55 liter tank, easily you're pumping up $100 over per tank. For example, if you're down to your, in EV terms, down 20%, in terms of percentage, that'll cost you 100 plus. I think for EV, when you charge from 20 to 80%, for the blade battery, we encourage you to go all the way to 100%, which is also a selling point of BYD. I think I've tried personally from 20 to 80 at one of the chargers in Westgate area. I think it was Gem or Westgate. I only pay about less than $40. So just a gauge, it's almost 3 times of savings. And I think the government has really been doing a good job here as well to keep the prices of, charging electricity still low. And I think just from there alone, you have a lot of savings. And cost of ownership also, we talk about servicing.
Yeah.
There's less component to service in a car because you don't have so many moving parts like you have in an engine. You just have a battery and a motor to drive the car, and that's it.
And like
Maybe.
a software update or something,
Yes.
right?
Top up coolant once in a while.
Once in a while,
Yes.
yeah. Okay, so a lot less to worry about.
Yes.
Okay.
So the dealership makes less on after sales, but the main thing is the consumer is still having these benefits and advantages because the savings on all this.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go back on air one last time. Wow, it's been half an hour.
Kiss 92 traffic.
On the SLE towards the CTE before the TPE PIE exit, you can look out for a broken down vehicle. Also on the BKE towards the PIE before the SLE, a broken down vehicle there. And blackout traffic lights at Kranji Way near the Sungai Buloh Wetland Park. If you spot anything else, WhatsApp us 8855
Welcome back to The Big Show and The Big Show TV. We are speaking to James Ng, the Managing Director at BYD Singapore, as well as David, who is the General Manager at Vantage Automotive Limited. Gentlemen, thank you so much once again for being here today. James, a question for you. What challenges come with being the number one brand, and how are you managing the situation right now to sustain that number one position?
Okay, actually, to us, number one is really a motivator for us to move on. Challenges definitely have, especially the recognition of EV in Singapore. There will be more friendly competitor coming in. But we believe in BYD because our technologies, we always trust that actually is the forefront. At the same time, we gauge that actually we are a few years ahead of that of other kind of technology. So one thing is the winning strategy of our BYD is definitely our tech that we have in for the people in Singapore. But at the same time, we also confident and delighted that I have a very strong team in Singapore together with my distributor and my dealers. We also call ourselves BYD Singapore United. Okay, there's a menu, but we also have BYD Singapore United because I really have a very good team, and that is also served that with a good team, we are very unlike. We are able to deliver good service in Singapore for the people. Be it whether is it lifestyle, be it whether we have the good after sales service, be it whether we have the a good CRM system. These are the things that we do our best to make sure that people in Singapore who buy our vehicles are at ease. They are happy with us. We have a thinking is that you are not just buying a vehicles and that's it. Or you come to our vehicle for service and that's it. We want you to be, every time when you wake up, you will think of BYD. we have a target to say that, okay, in Singapore, if you want to buy vehicle, the first one is BYD.
It's like you're creating a community of
we are creating
BYD.
a community, and that serves as a great motivation for our team to work on. And I would say that I have a very great team, and I really appreciate for all the efforts. And of course, our media friends, and definitely Kiss 92 for all the continued support, and also the people in Singapore for recognizing BYD. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much, James. Anything that's new with BYD, you're going to hear it first right here on Kiss 92. That's for sure. Now, we mentioned already that the Atto 2 is going to be released. When is that again, roughly?
5th of August.
5th of August.
5th of
yeah.
August.
Yes, that will be their launch date.
So yet another thing to look forward to when it comes to BYD.
So it'll be on the market the day of or the day after? Immediately?
Yeah.
The
Maybe
day-
I'll talk about
Immediately
the 5th of
Yeah.
August event at
You wanna
Zouk, right?
Yeah, so the 5th of August event will be at Zouk, where we feel young again when we dance and
On the
shake our-
podiums and-
yeah. So the question about who are we targeting? We are trying. I don't know whether the youngsters go to Zouk. We don't go out as often at night.
They do,
They're
they
usually
do.
working.
It's still crowded, I think.
Yeah, so I think it was a great place that the whole team came together. James was very involved in that as well, and we've decided to pick the place of launch of the other two to be at Zouk.
Nice.
So it's happening on 5th of August. It's a Tuesday.
And
So,
we are also
yeah.
opening in our social media platform.
Exactly.
We are inviting youngsters in
Youngsters,
Singapore, or
come,
no,
join
not youngsters, sorry, any age.
Any age, yeah.
Okay,
If you feel
there
young.
is a limited capacity. You can just register
To come
You
for the event.
Yes, come
Oh,
for the
nice.
event.
Okay,
You're also
that's
invited.
cool.
All right,
Okay.
to enjoy.
That's
All
cool.
right.
Thank
So
you.
the party is too late. So
Okay.
do come down and reach out to us at BYD.
All right, we'll certainly keep you guys updated once again right here on Kiss 92. Thank you so much, James, for coming in.
you.
Thank you very much, David.
Thank you very much.
Have a
Thank you.
wonderful day
Thank you,
ahead.
James. Thank you, James.